na 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 oh eh oh. Na 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 oh eh oh. Na 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 oh eh oh. Na 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 oh eh oh.
Hello and welcome to Three Guys, One Cup. My name's Dave Mankoff.
I'm Brett Kaminsky.
No.
Oh, hey, oh. This song is awesome, by the way.
It is very fucking awesome.
It's so much fun. I freaking love it.
Who's the band?
Let's see. This band, I found this on SoundCloud. Let's give them some props. This band is papalegal.
And then song name is Voodoo.
Yeah, song name is Voodoo. This song is so cool. We were searching for like 20 minutes to find a song.
Sorry, I gotta interrupt, but I gotta back the camera up just a tad. I'm like half in the frame.
Yeah, do whatever you need to do. Did you want to be in frame in this show?
No.
That's weird.
No.
This is 2.5 Guys Cups. This song is
And
awesome.
the Voodoo.
Legal, yeah.
It's the Voodoo that's moving this.
Yeah, it's good shit. They're really good. We were searching for like 20 minutes for a song, and we saw this one, and we both were like, fuck yeah. Good shit, so check them out. There may be more played on here more. I'm going to stop this music now so we can start the shows. How we all doing tonight?
I think that'll work.
A little late in the recording. I do apologize for that.
Fucking retards who decide to race a fucking train can suck my left nut. I hope he's in the hospital.
Or dead.
He's probably dead.
Or dead.
You don't really race a train and win in a car. I thought there was somebody hit by a train, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But you said that it was actually a vehicle.
Yeah, they said it was a vehicle.
Well, haven't you ever seen the movies? It happens all the time in the movies.
It does.
Andrew, I feel like you're like Wilbur next door in Home Improvement
Wilbur.
right now.
His name's not Wilbur.
Or Wilson, whatever.
You know what's funny?
Wilson.
No one watches the video, so...
Yeah, I know, but it's just a hat with a big black stick in his face.
That's all you need to see. A hat and a voice. That's all you need to see of Andrew.
And you could see the shirt. It says for science.
Science! Which we really need to get another one scheduled, by the way.
Yeah, we really do.
We get the science of corn.
We talk about malting whiskey or...
No,
Wow.
just corn.
Just corn and how bad it is for you? Let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's start off the show with that.
Go. Benzing can talk about a lot of corn.
He can. It's his whole state.
Fucking Iowa.
So, and table in front of us, look at it, love it. Go to geekify.tv, which is our webpage. Click on the Onnit, O-N-N-I-T banner. Go to their site, buy some stuff. We get money for it. Thank you. Get monies to keep the Fortress of Davitude open.
Yeah.
We have some stuff on the table. The new addition to the table
is the motherfucking steel bell.
The big-ass bitch on top of it is a steel bell. And if you're like, what the fuck is a steel bell?
My ex-girlfriend's here on the table?
She is, yeah. She's very heavy. She's only 25 pounds, though. So, the steel bell,
it doesn't matter. You're throwing that shit back and forth. It fucking weighs on you. I can't talk.
Okay, it's heavy. It's like a kettlebell, but it's like a bag filled with sand. So, it's very cool. Andrew and I were actually tossing around for 5 minutes before, back and forth, and we're both like, holy fuck. It's a good workout.
We're winded in like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're not the greatest shape in the world, but it will get you in shape if you do that every day.
Oh yeah.
I definitely
play
want
catch
to
with
get
yourself
one.
outside.
Exactly. You just throw
you
it in the air.
You throw it up in the air and catch it. You could slam it down on the ground. This thing's fucking powerful.
It's very cool. I definitely am going to get one. I'm going to incorporate it into my workout now, and it's pretty badass. Obviously, Alpha Brain is their flagship stuff, which is awesome. I do want to talk about. I don't have it on the table because I'm an idiot.
Testosterone?
It's the T plus. It's in there. I don't know if Brett wants to grab it and bring it out.
Yeah, it's literally right
there's
behind
one
the wall.
on the half wall that's not opened. You have to get up.
No.
Out of the
wait.
frame again.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No.
So this T plus, it's not. It's not pure testosterone. What it is? No, it is not.
Roid rage.
I don't really want to touch it anyway. I want you to show the camera, but
that would make more sense, wouldn't it?
I don't know why you're handing it to me. Where I'm like, I'm going to describe this on a podcast. So T plus, the badass stuff. What this is a bunch of ingredients that support healthy testosterone. Most men in America have a lower amount of testosterone and a higher amount of estrogen. It's becoming more and more common.
It's
I'm
called
seeing
all the shit in the drinking water.
Yeah, it's all the food we're eating that's estrogenic. That increases your estrogen. So,
like vegetables.
Our shit is off. Basically, our testosterone, males is off. Our estrogen's high. Even in females, it's increasing their estrogen. It's not good.
Bitch tits.
Exactly, like what I have.
Fight Club.
So,
yeah.
Basically, what this does is it supports your body's ability to have a healthy testosterone level. It doesn't have actual testosterone in it, but it has all the precursors to it. magnesium and all the other complicated
stuff to help boost.
Yes.
Manganese.
Without actually testosterone.
Yes, the science behind it is
Anemonium.
it will help your body to increase your testosterone to the level it sees fit. So
it's a smart drug, is what you're saying.
It makes your balls drop.
It's a smart supplement. Right?
it is, yeah. If you stop it, you will not have a testosterone drop because it will go down more naturally. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like a testosterone supplement that is exogenous where you just take that and you
Androgel 4000. Rub it on your testicles right now.
exactly.
Nerd?
Exactly. It's not like that. So go check that out. It's good stuff. I've been trying it for probably the past week, and I've noticed. I honestly, this is weird. It's gonna sound weird. It's actually like calmed me down a bit more. You think it would make you rage,
And it's fucking delicious.
And it's so
What
delicious.
flavor is it?
It's
sweet.
very sweet.
It's sweet.
What
Dude,
what
what
kind
does
of
mine
candy
say?
am I thinking of that it's like?
I don't know.
What do you describe it like? You just had some
Fucking
today.
delicious.
It is very good. He's drinking it right now. It's very sweet. It's very good to mix in, and I just have one every morning. And I've noticed it's actually like brought my anger level down. Like I have a very high anger level.
So what happens when you mix it with New Mood?
Oh, you feel amazing. I've done that.
Yeah.
I could take New Mood every night
Take all of it, mix it together in one big drink,
and just see what happens.
Your body just goes.
It would definitely
Oh, your hair turns gold, and you scream for
Look out.
3 episodes.
It's
You have-
over 9,000.
You have that in kale shakes, and you're a fucking monster right there.
That's what we should have done. Put some of that shit in kale shake.
That actually would be a good idea. It might actually cut some of the taste of the kale shake. I might try that next time. Yeah, so check that shit out.
Super Saiyan juice. If you mix all the on-it products together,
You just become a freaking crazy man or woman. You can become a crazy woman too.
yes, you can.
Although I don't think women are recommended to take the T plus.
They should.
They
It'd be
really
fine.
shouldn't have too much testosterone running around. They should make a female version of that. Otherwise, it's sexist.
Estrogen plus.
No, they
E
don't need
plus?
any more of that.
Right. So, what else is going on, guys? How you doing?
Good.
I'm doing
Assassin's
great
Creed
now
4.
that I'm drinking.
Yeah, you've had a stressful night of people getting hit by trains and like a 3-hour commute, right? To
Yeah.
get here.
Yeah, a 40-minute commute turned into 3 fucking hours.
Wah, wah.
Wah wah, indeed.
Think about that person. I don't know. We don't know the story about the car. Most likely, it's their fault for being a dumb shit. Most people who try to
Honestly,
race a train.
I hope they're in the hospital.
Most people who try to race a train lose. It's not a very smart thing to do.
It's a fucking brilliant thing to do. Fuck Lion Day. Have National Train Day.
Everyone just stand in front of trains. Anybody who's stupid stands on the tracks.
Because they can really jump off the tracks at you all the time.
They can, yeah. Well, when I heard the train story, Andrew and I were talking about one of my kind of friends from high school. I'm not going to say his name. I can't even remember his last name, sadly. But
When did this happen?
probably 2006 to 2008 sometime. So after post high school, we had a friend from school. He was a pretty cool guy, kind of a jock, but not a bad guy at all. Now that he's dead. No, he.
Wait, what?
He's dead now. Yeah, he's been dead for a while.
Who?
What happened was he got high on shrooms and drank a bunch of alcohol and took his shoes off and walked on train tracks, and then he was hit by a car. Hit by a car. Jesus, Dave. Hit by a train. High as a fucking kite. Like drunk, high on shrooms, without shoes on the train tracks and obliterated. Kind of a crazy story. When I heard about it, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much the life he lived, Kind of sad. He was kind of a cool guy, so it was very sad to hear. But yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
I remember this.
I mean, he was in my grade, not yours.
Yeah, you're only a year older than me.
I am, yeah. But 1,000 times sexier.
But we graduated our
school?
graduate school at the same time.
We did, yeah.
2008 for the win.
I didn't graduate anything in 2008.
You didn't finish your...
I don't have an undergrad degree, no.
I thought you had a
I went from a high school degree to a doctorate. I know all that middle shit. Fuck that stuff.
I thought your undergrad
Is that
was
him?
all...
I go
at,
straight.
yeah,
That is
okay.
him. Oh man, he
me
was
see.
only 19.
Let me see.
Don't say the name. I don't really want to say
won't
his name.
the name. I just want
Yeah, I forgot that was his last name.
oh my god, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. Like very sad. Like we
Yeah.
were all like,
I
holy
can't picture
shit.
his face.
There goes the Minecraft.
Change it to witchcraft!
Oh no. So yeah, it's very sad to hear that, but people die. Shit happens. I'm over it now.
It's funny. I googled his name, and the first thing that shows up was a black guy.
Well, it's it's kind of a black name. I mean, that's not
No, it
racist
totally
to say.
is.
So, yeah, that's what I thought of when I first heard it. What am I, fucking Canadian? I'm watching a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
For the next
been watching way too much hockey.
dude. Okay, every night I've come home for the past few days.
Game Center for the win.
Well, not even just that. I've NHL Network and NBC. Like they have so many games every day that I've been watching basically nonstop hockey on that.
Yeah.
I have watched Game Center a few times, but holy fucking hockey everywhere. They're doing a really good job of promoting it now.
I have yet to miss a Blackhawks broadcast. I have seen every single game.
I've missed
a
Good man.
I missed one because I had to work. That was against Detroit, but I caught it on NHL
Nice.
Network. Then another one was on a Friday. I don't remember who they played, but we had to snake the sewer, which that was fun.
Yeah, that is
And then the
fun.
home open or the season opener.
I missed a bunch of games, but I've tried to catch up with a bunch of them too online and
Oh, yeah,
stuff. So yeah, the Hawks.
Did you try opening up the bottle?
No, jerk.
What about the Snus tin?
I still can't open the new one.
You can't?
No,
These
I'm
are
retarded.
so
Shut
much
up.
easier to
I don't-
open.
I'm a doctor.
Dave, watch.
No, Minecraft.
God, the steel bell does not like the thing. They
No,
even
no,
added
it was fine
easy
until someone
open
touched it.
grips.
They're not easy open Dave grips.
Dave, watch.
It's opened. I can't open it. If you give it
It's
to
so
me,
funny.
if you give it to me, I won't be able to open it for half an hour. My snus capability is taken away. So, hockey, Hawks are doing amazing. Blackhawks are kicking fucking ass right now. They're doing really good. Happy to see them. And that's really all. I mean, what else can you say?
They lost 3 points
You know what else
That's
I
it.
can
out of the
say?
first half.
Beer is fucking awesome.
I'm glad. I mean, it's a good podcast.
Yes.
Blackhawks are doing really good. They are 23-0-3 right now.
No, 21-0-3.
21-0-3. I get a little ahead of myself.
They're exactly halfway through their season and
Yes.
are still undefeated.
In regulation.
In
regulation.
Which
Asterisks in regulation.
yes, which is a feat in itself. And what I love the most is when they interviewed the Blackhawks yesterday, they were like, how do you feel about this? It's great, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, we're just winning games. Like, they have a really down-to-earth, all the players have a very down-to-earth attitude. They're like, yeah, well, if we lose tomorrow, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like, we're just playing hockey. And, like, that to me is you're like, that is what hockey fans need to see.
And they're having fun with it, too. They're not all getting into the hype of, oh, you're on an awesome streak, whatever. They're like, yeah, whatever. It's, what is it, 31 game streak without a loss in regulation, or at least 1 point in a game.
Yeah.
That stretches back to last season.
Right.
And the record's like 35 or something like that.
Yes, and it's crazy. They're going to probably get close to that record, hopefully, in the next few weeks.
And one of the cool things is that they're getting recognized on ESPN, and ESPN really doesn't do hockey.
Yeah, well.
Because they got, with the NBA, NFL, and stuff like that, and baseball. Baseball.
What's baseball? I don't understand.
No.
I usually watch baseball until the All-Star break, and then I stop watching.
Dave, it's that one sport where you get the big ball, and there's a couple of like wooden sticks behind it, and you get like a giant paddle, and you try to hit the ball. Oh wait, that's cricket.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand that. It's way too slow. I need a sport that has a pair of testicles in it that is nonstop. Like
I
hockey.
like
Well,
sports where you can score on the defense.
Yes.
Well, they had testicles. Oh wait, that was testosterone.
Oh. Yikes.
Oh, burn.
So hockey's doing really good. It's I'm watching so much hockey. We actually have hockey on the TV right now. For those of you who can't even see the TV or just listen to
I
this.
got the song stuck in my head.
So it's a good song. Oh. So Blackhawks doing good. Glad to see them still kicking ass.
yeah,
Glad to see the team just coming back. Like the other night, they came
How
back with
about
59
Carbon?
seconds. Yeah, Carbon with a crazy goal to win
Who
it.
saw that one
Insane.
coming? This guy.
Yeah, you did. You did say it
In my
before the
head.
game. Very cool. Very good to see the hockey doing so well from the coming back from the lockout for sure. Coming back, even getting on ESPN, and even though Brett just linked me an article, which I do want to talk about because I think that's just
Fucking Jonathan Quick.
what
Sorry, go ahead.
Bro wants to fuck Jonathan Quick.
he does. Yeah, I mean,
5
that's-
minutes into the game, 1 goal allowed on 2 saves.
Excellent.
That's why Jonathan Quick sucks.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what I have on
Who wants to trade me?
on the feed right now is ESPN. Stephen Smith believes that 3 ties make.
Whoa,
Blackhawks-
you gotta say Stephen A. Smith.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yes, you have
Just
to.
call him Sass.
Otherwise, it could be any black guy.
Stephen A. Smith believes that 3 ties make Blackhawks NHL record
That's
inferior
unnecessary.
to Miami Heat streak. Now, my first critique of that headline. Yeah, go ahead.
Stephen A. Smith is a basketball guy. He knows nothing about
Oh,
hockey.
is he? I didn't even know
He
that.
knows nothing about hockey.
That's what I was going to say. You cannot compare a hockey team to a basketball team. That's basketball, right?
Yeah, but also look at the
The black
teams
man
that.
sport.
Yeah, look at the teams that the
I
Heat
said
have
it.
played. They played like the shitty teams like Washington, Orlando.
Okay,
and
but
like the teams that aren't that good.
regardless, it's basketball and hockey. They're 2 completely different
It
sports.
even says this is one of the best things in this article is the guy actually who wrote this article on Yahoo, Greg. I'm not going to try to butcher your last name. His little handle is Puck Daddy, which is
Wyshynski. You're Polish,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
you can't say that. What the fuck?
I don't
You're fired.
understand multiple consonants in a
There's
row.
a lot of Y's in that.
There's a
letter,
lot of
yeah.
consonants. Let's see. Where is
Oh, he
it?
said all they do is glide.
No.
No?
It was something about the buffoonery of comparing NHL to NBA.
It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like saying that
Incomparable
NASCAR and
sports.
bowling are the same sport, and you're like, those are two different
Wait, what two
types of
sports?
sports. NASCAR and bowling.
NASCAR
Oh, I was
is
gonna
not a
say
sport.
Bowling and
Actually, I disagree because
whoa! You're talking NASCAR? You gotta have
NASCAR
Danica Patrick in there somewhere.
NASCAR is as much of a sport as
golfers.
fencing.
fencing's a sport. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is-
sorry,
isn't the
fencing
only-
is a sport. I need a better example. Give me a
Fencing.
minute. Come
It's
back
as much
to
of
me.
a sport as
Golf.
football, and
Come
you're
back-
like,
come
yeah,
back
thank
to
you.
me.
Brett. No. You know why it's a sport? The definition of a sport is an athletic player competing. Though many NASCAR people are extremely athletic. A lot of them are
Yes,
very.
They are athletic. The activity is not.
Some of it's driving. The way they have to drive
Driving
for
in
long
a
periods
circle?
of time, but for long periods of time, and you have to keep your place without crashing. None of us at this table could do it.
I can do it.
Dave,
In
you
a video
definitely
game.
cannot.
No.
No,
could
I
not
could,
do
I
it.
could do it in real life.
You could not. You cannot drive a NASCAR car for 500 miles and get in a good place. You would
Yes, I
crash.
could.
You would crash.
No.
You run out of gas too. You didn't even say you're gonna pull out. And
I always pull out.
fucking Catholic method.
I push and pray. I blow my load into your heart.
Exactly. That's how you run NASCAR. No, NASCAR. I feel like it's a sport. Now it's a sport I like. No, I don't like NASCAR at all.
I don't get it. I
don't
if
get
I
it
was
either.
actually at the race, it's fun. Like my
Well, it's
my-
drinking. That's what you do at the
Yeah,
race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my late uncle, he used to do late model racing, which is basically NASCAR on dirt, like mud.
Really?
And it was really cool to watch that because it's like combines like NASCAR with drift racing. It was really cool. I could go to that and stuff. Go into those. It's loud as shit, but it's entertaining as hell. Even when I was like not old enough to drink, it was fun. But NASCAR, it's like you're on concrete. I mean, your biggest deal is basically your pit crew. I could see being a pit crew person. Yes, that is a sport. You need to be money on all the time. You're driving in a circle.
But that's not the definition.
driver.
The definition of a sport is a person, male or female, athletic person
That's what
usually.
a person is?
Yes,
Okay.
male or female. That's what I've been told. I don't really know for sure. An athletic person competing in an event, and that technically. And granted, I didn't always agree that NASCAR was a sport, but I'm seeing it as a sport now because those guys are very athletic. They do train. You do have to do a lot of training. You have to. They learn how to pee and breathe correctly in that car because they're doing it for long periods of time.
Pee.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
pee in their suits.
They usually have like catheters in, not in, but they usually have like a device.
Piss bag.
Yes, actually, I think they.
All the way down to the poop sack.
I think what they used was borrowed from NASA. To how astronauts have to pee in
Yeah.
space. I think like that same technology
into a tube
was
and it
made. Some of it was
crystallizes in
made
space.
in NASCAR, and I think like NASA borrowed some of it. Like they use very very cutting edge technology, and so I consider it a sport. I do not like NASCAR at all. I would never watch it, but I still consider it a sport. So
So it's NASCAR. You have to be strong enough to control the wheel,
yes,
control the car around the turns.
it's very difficult. So
Especially now with the newer cars, because how they're designed now. Because this year they got new cars,
so fuck you, Brett. It's a
and-
sport.
and with the new design of the car, DSN slides out a lot more. Around
Does
the
it really?
turns. Yeah.
Our fellow NASCAR fan here.
So
Nothing wrong with NASCAR if people like it. I don't really care. Everyone can like their own thing. But I do consider it a sport. So it's very weird to compare basketball to hockey, like especially from ESPN. You're like, well, that's not even a comparison. Now, if you're saying, I understand what he's getting at is like he doesn't like the ties, but we have to be professional.
They're not
and wear
technically a
ties.
tie.
It's a tie point though when you're 21-0-3.
Yeah, but it's not. There's still a declared winner for every game. Like
There
not,
is.
It's not like soccer where you can actually have a 0-0 tie, or the NFL where you can actually have as a tie.
right.
It's not very common in the NFL, but you can. It's very common in soccer.
yeah,
Yes.
and basketball, there's no way to distinguish. Oh, you got to overtime. Oh yeah, you get a point for being in overtime. No,
Bless you.
You lose in overtime, you're done. So I can see where he's going with it, but
But I disagree
way-
because hockey
the
is
way that he made his argument was horrendous.
Yeah, it's a piss poor argument. And not only that, hockey has ties. And it's like, if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but that's the way hockey is we have ties. And that's why they say the Blackhawks are undefeated in regulation. And they are. They have not lost in regulation.
No.
They have lost 3 times in overtime, which, is still pretty good. But they haven't lost in regulation. That's what everyone's saying. And that's why it's very funny when people are like, no, they haven't. I've heard some people complain to me, too, about that. about saying like, well, is it really? Are they really undefeated? And you're like, yes, they haven't lost in regulation.
Yeah.
There's still 21-0-3. That 0 is 0 losses. So what are you breaking news me, Brett? What are you doing? Is this? I bet I know what this is. Is this the? Oh my God. Okay, I'm putting that up.
We have our new pope.
We have a new pope, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Quenneville's mustache has been elected pope.
Thank you, Conclave. You finally got something right.
That is awesome. What site is this on?
The heckler.
That is genius. I love it.
Like a hoss.
If you guys like hockey and you're at home right now, follow Joe Quenneville's mustache on Facebook and Twitter.
Funniest fucking Twitter account.
Some of the funniest hockey-related topics I've ever heard of in my life. So fucking funny.
Which I didn't realize that the Facebook page and the Twitter account are two completely separate people.
Yeah, but it's the same idea. Yeah,
same idea. Completely separate people, both funny as shit.
Right, both equally funny. I love that quote, by the way. I love that Pope thing. Very good. What else is
freaking Pope?
I'm at a freaking Pope. Can you believe that he retired, by the way? How crazy is that?
Yeah, I know. First Pope in 600 years.
What a pussy.
Yeah. Fucking ride that shit out till your deathbed, dude.
What I would do...
John Paul II had fucking Parkinson's, and he rode that shit out.
Can the Pope have sex?
No, he just shook it out.
I think so. I don't see.
I wonder how...
Little boys are all over the Vatican.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, but I was.
He supports it. He doesn't actually rape little boys. He supports everybody else raping little boys.
It's your right to molest a little boy.
What's that?
Rape little boys?
I haven't seen it. He was a Nazi.
He does wear Prada.
Does he?
Yeah, he has red Prada
shoes. The devil wears Prada.
I was thinking, I was like, is that like a devil joke in the Pope? Yeah. I had nothing against the Pope. The Catholic Church sometimes can do things that are a little scary, but
organized religion can do stuff that's very scary.
But it also can do very good things.
I was listening to something, and I can't remember what the fuck I was listening to, but they were hoping that it would be someone from a third world country that would become Pope.
I want it to be a woman.
No.
Why are you laughing?
Because there's no such thing as a female cardinal.
Yeah.
There's not?
It's illegal.
Oh, shit.
It's illegal.
Yeah,
it's illegal.
There's not even female priests or anything like that in the
Those
Catholic
are called
Church.
nuns.
Yeah, they're nuns. You can't, as a woman in the Catholic Church, you can't go farther than being a sister.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where you got Sister Act.
That's so ancient.
Sister.
That's like, you know what? Like hardcore extremist Muslims look at that and they're like, I like the Catholic religion. Mm-hmm. Like that's fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
We hate your views, but
I like your stance on women. Like that is incredibly sexist. I didn't realize that.
I know it's like ways down the road. Like I haven't even proposed yet, but me and Robin have already agreed that we're going to have a female
Pope.
Female Pope. Yes, our Pope will be female. Damn it.
Female dog?
The priest or whatever you want to call her, priestess or whatever is.
You're gonna have a priestess?
Yeah, marry us.
She's gonna like throw fireballs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna be sexy.
It's a nun.
And then she'll be burned at the stake.
Oh shit! She's a witch, obviously.
Witch. We're gonna have it in Salem.
Yeah, exactly, as you should.
Should we just have it to where like one of our shoes catches on fire as we're standing there?
And just throw it at her.
And then we just say, this is
She's
witchcraft.
gonna have ruby red shoes, and she's gonna click them. There's no place like home. She's on fire.
Can we drop a house on her?
Yes, you can. I'm seeing that on Saturday, by the way. Oz, the Great and Powerful, or whatever.
It's supposed to be really good.
It looks phenomenal. I can't wait to see it.
So how about that filibuster? Not to just change gears, but
I love Rand Paul though. I'm a fanboy.
Let's explain can you explain some people what happened?
Okay, so there was the nomination of the new director of the CIA since Petraeus got basically hacked by email.
His own people.
Yeah, by his own people, and basically showed that he was incompetent, which is very sad because he was like a 4-star highly decorated.
I don't
general.
feel like he was incompetent.
I don't think he was either. I'm saying people like kind of smeared him as saying he's incompetent. Because
I don't agree that he had an extramarital affair.
Mm-hmm.
That's douchey.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have anything to do with his
ability to do his job.
Exactly.
Well,
I said
Kevin
the same thing about.
Yeah,
I said it depends on what the definition of is.
Exactly. That was like an angry Bill Clinton. By the way.
It depends on what the definition of is.
Sling blade right there.
Yeah. And I think that whole thing got blown out of proportion too.
Definitely.
It totally did. And everybody knows who's listened to our show for a long time that I definitely fall on the right hand of politics.
Definitely.
More
and you're even like what they did to Clinton was kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's completely shitty. And honestly, though, I think Hillary was pretty shitty for staying with him.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially in like a newer age for like, freedom of women,
Mm-hmm.
you think that she could become empowered and be like, I'm going to use this and be like, fuck you, man.
I'm the fucking president now, bitch.
And then she goes and gets some 20-year-old and is like, look at this shit. And
marries
just slings
Barack Obama, and she becomes president.
Boom!
Mind fuck. Interracial marriage with a woman in the White House.
A black man, too. The Republicans just kill themselves on fire. Oh, my God. It'd be amazing.
It would be so funny. So essentially, I can't remember what his fucking name is. The new CIA director was being vetted basically by Senate, and they have to do a vote if he's accepted. And Rand Paul got up and filibustered for 13 and a half hours to basically took over the floor.
John Brennan,
there. Thank you. His nomination vote, and he basically there was some letters that came about that more or less indicated that the president could issue an order for a deadly drone strike on someone on U.S. soil who was a U.S. citizen because they might be an enemy combatant. And it was very vague on how everything was phrased, and he wanted a definitive answer. I'm like, yes, we can, because it's a straight-up violation. I believe it's the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to say...
That's search and seizure, right?
Yeah. And basically, it's like the government can't assassinate its own citizens on U.S. soil.
With good reason.
Yeah, with extremely good reason.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And Eric Holder, the Attorney General, who, in my opinion, is completely ill-equipped to do his job when he claims he didn't know anything about Fast and Furious and all this other crap. But
The Vin Diesel movie?
What?
Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel movie?
ATF. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about. So
No, I really actually don't.
You don't know what the Fast and Furious is?
Yeah, I thought you meant like he's like, I don't know what the Fast and Furious is. And they're like,
No.
we will bring Vin Diesel
Fast
in here.
and Furious was a failed ATF program to track illegal gun trade, where they basically gave heavy-duty firearms to known traffickers of illegal firearms, and then just like, walk away, we'll find them eventually. And one of the guns was actually recovered at a crime scene just south of the border where an ATF agent was killed.
Oh, shit.
They basically
I
gave the guns
remember
to these
hearing about
people to try to track them, and then just stopped watching them.
Wow.
And it was this huge, big deal. Like, Eric Holder should have resigned or been fired. Like, I can't believe he's still in office. There's
Politics.
The Attorney General. But he ran back to the original story. Rand Paul wanted a definitive answer from the president saying he would not, he would not ever issue that order, and the president doesn't have the right to issue that order from Eric Holder. He wanted to hear that, and he filibustered for 13 and a half hours. Finished at 2 o'clock this morning or something like that. And Eric Holder issued a letter this morning saying, this is true. The president does not have any powers to initiate an assassination on any American citizen on U.S. soil, no matter what their status is.
I didn't hear that part. That's what they said?
Yeah.
Just confirming then that, yes, they're not going to use that to kill our citizens.
Yeah. And
that the president won't.
Yeah, the president does not have the authority to make that order.
But he's not going to be sitting there controlling it to be like, no.
No, not to actually carry out the act, but to issue the order to do so.
Okay.
So that order cannot happen.
Who does have that order then? Who does have
exactly? Since there is 23 levels of clearance over the president.
Yes. who can be like, we're going to assassinate the president today? Like, who can give that order? That's the guy we need to talk to and be like, please don't.
That's going into the JFK conspiracy theory and shit.
Speaking of, did you guys listen to the Rogan podcast from the other day with Greer?
No,
Dr. Greer.
I just don't spoil it when I listen to it.
Yeah, listen to it because they get into some of that stuff.
I'm listening to something else. I'm not going to talk about that right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
definitely do, because he kind of talks about the JFK thing. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I do want to see.
Dude's a complete nut. Makes Giorgio Tsoukalos look completely sane. But
Dan Carlin, have you ever heard of him? He's a ex reporter, and he's a genius. He brings up really good points and everything.
Yeah, he's
about
Dan
everything. Carlin.
Dan Carlin. No relation to George Carlin or anything, because that's what I thought too.
That'd have been funny.
But no, he's a very cool guy. He's like an ex-reporter saying how the media is completely pussified and in the hands of the government, where it should not be, because they're like,
all of them are.
If you cover this story, then you're going to be banned from covering any stories in the future. So everyone's afraid because of their career.
Yeah,
no one's going to stand up.
It's freedom of the press by like
it's freedom
by the government's will, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So Dan Carlin's another guy that's very much like, we need to just have somebody open up that cage and be like, no, I'm going to stand up.
Like Julian Assange.
Exactly.
Yeah. With the WikiLeaks, but
look how that worked out for him.
Yeah.
You know?
But still,
was it
it's
6 months
that
in the consulate in Britain?
The rape charge on him. That's what they're getting him on, is because, I don't know if you guys know the story. He had sex with a woman consensually. Then she claims that they were laying in bed afterwards, and that he kind of forcibly had sex with her without a condom.
Yes. No, it wasn't. He forced it. He penetrated without a condom. That's what it was.
Yeah. So
that's what the rape charge is.
So they're having, I think they're calling it surprise sex is what they're calling it.
Yeah. Surprise sex?
Yeah, literally calling it that, which is just hilarious. But
and then
they actually said surprise sex.
I think it's
surprise! My cock is in your vagina. Woohoo!
Surprise! It's not in there anymore.
Yeah. It's another country. It's not America. He's getting charged with that. I think it's UK.
Yeah, really weird, somewhere in Europe. I don't remember.
But the United States is going to, like, what he's afraid of is that the U.S. is going to try to assassinate him.
If they kill him, that there will be a lot of uprise from a lot of
it's
people.
Almost to the point though where they can't without.
They cannot.
No, it's too much of a big thing to actually for them to be able.
Because look at what's his name from the RSS feed guy who killed himself.
Bradley Manning.
Oh no,
Schwick? No,
Schwartz.
I should know his name. Schwartz.
I think it's the Verge has had it on their front page.
Like that, when he did that, it like opened up a little bit into how they were harassing him. And how they were like, we're going to put you away for 80 years.
Yeah,
and they were like,
which is completely unfounded.
A lot of people were like, you can't do that. You can't harass people like that. Like that's so like, yeah, he became kind of a martyr because of that. Because it's like, ooh, yeah, you can't come after. And then like they issued apologies. People lost their jobs because of that. Very fascinating.
Yeah,
thing.
Bradley Manning's another one with the WikiLeaks.
Yes, he is. He's another guy that's getting fucked.
The Verge has actually had really good coverage.
I think he's the one that they're more so after.
Well, he's the one that originally released. He gave the documents to
Julian Assange.
He's the one that U.S. government wants and everything.
Yeah, because he's the ex-military guy that actually broke the law.
Ex-army.
Same thing. Ex-military, ex-army. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, Schwartz.
Yeah, Jonathan Schwartz. No, what the fuck's his first name?
I'm pulling up.
Ruby Schwartz.
Orange Schwartz.
Orange Schwartz. It's very sad that he did kill himself because the government afterwards was like
Aaron
Schwartz. They were like, our bad. We weren't actually going to do that.
The RSS feed.
Yeah,
when he was 14 years old.
Yeah,
not when he killed himself.
No, when he came up with RSS,
which are used by everybody.
Like
us. That's how podcasts are done. Yeah, they're done by RSS feed like devices. Did you guys hear about that lawsuit? Too. Speaking of podcast listings,
really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I found a picture. It has to go back to the fucking drones with guns and killing U.S. Citizens and everything. There's a picture of Barack Obama, and on there it says, "Commander-in-Chief believes he has the power to kill American citizens without due process. Insists that American citizens do not need military-style weapons to defend themselves."
Wait, say that again?
Commander-in-Chief believes he has the power to kill American citizens without due process, hence the drones, or any other means, and he insists that American citizens do not need military-style weapons to defend themselves. So,
is that a quote from him, or what is that?
No, it's on it's on a picture.
Link it.
I can't. It's on Facebook.
Because
you can.
The problem with some things like that is you have to take a lot of what you see like that with a grain of salt. Because
definitely.
Honestly, I don't like. I pretty much exclusively watch Fox News.
Oh,
I don't watch the news anymore,
but
I get too pissed off.
I only do it because they tend to play more of the devil's advocate thing than like NBC or ABC and all that kind of stuff do, knowing full well that all of them are complete bullshit, and the only reason Fox News exists in the first place is to play counterpoint to give the impression of a free press.
Right. It's like the opposite of CNN, but just as corrupt.
Well, CNN has drifted way to the left over the past couple of years too.
Oh my God, CNN is.
They used to be like the definition of walk that line.
Yeah.
And not anymore. Not in a long time.
Yeah, no. I do have it up here, by the way.
No, it's definitely take it with a grain of salt. But this was also posted before everything was finished up with a filibuster.
Gotcha.
Right. So Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Fox News or CNN. CNN though is really, even me being more leftish sometimes. Now I'm very independent. I don't like either side, but CNN I do read the headlines once in a while just to see what kind of going on in the world, and sometimes you read them and you're like fuck you, CNN.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they had one story on yesterday that was very poignant to me. They had a study, which I didn't get to look at the original study yet, but they had a study that showed that in states that had in states that had very strict gun laws, there was a 40% decrease in suicide and homicide rates by guns.
Not only states, but it was more so cities, I think.
No, it was states.
Well,
it was states in general.
Shit, Sherlock.
And I was like, I don't. But they did define what stricter gun laws meant by like registering to get a gun and stuff. But the way they played it off was
by registered firearms.
But they played it off that by limiting guns to everybody, that crime rate went down. When in fact, part of that is opposite, because if you look at the 3 cities that have the strictest gun laws, Chicago, LA, and New York,
mm-hmm.
they have the highest gun deaths.
Yeah.
Homicides
murders.
and suicides.
Mm-hmm.
The highest. And so you're like, well, that you can't. And the way the article was, because I read it, and the way the article reads is like, well, easy. It's just, stricter gun control. And you're like, that's not exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Like, no. But the way they played it off was really shitty. That if someone read that, they're like, well, look at 40%.
Correlation is not causation.
Exactly. You can't. You have to, and you have to define your parameters a little bit, because yes, I do agree that we should have registration for guns and stuff like that. But they were thinking the way that they worded it was very on the side of we should ban all guns kind of thing. And you're like, whoa, that's scary. Like, fuck you, CNN. Like, you can't. I hate when they twist studies like that.
Oh yeah, and all sides do it too. Fox and NBC included. They all twist studies to fit their viewer base,
which is scary because there's really no like truly independent.
Gallup.
Are they really independent though?
Gallup has always been that. Honestly, when I'm looking for, like, when people say, such a Fox News, or no, it's like a ABC Wall Street Journal poll says X, and it's like, no, I'll go to Gallup. That's the only place I will go to look at poll data, because that is the only place that, like, or usually you'll see like ABC and Real Clear Politics, or NBC and Politico, Fox News and Wall Street Journal. It's like, well, you guys are all affiliated.
And what I'm talking about,
Fox owns Wall Street Journal and stuff, so it's like, unless it says it's from Gallup poll, I will not take anything that poll has to say seriously.
Well, not just polls for what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more like in general. Like, there's no news source that you can go to turn to for
like
unbiased.
Say like right now, turn on the TV. Who are you going to go to for unbiased?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Both sides are polarized. Very scarily polarized too. Where you're
and
like,
it's gotten worse and worse over the past like 6 years.
Yes, very much so. And even in our generation, getting up and realizing this, we're like, well, what the fuck, guys? Mm-hmm. Like, this is not. Like, stop feeding that machine. Like, that's why I don't watch news unless I glance at the headlines to see big things. Mm-hmm. But I really don't like to click on some stories unless like that one on CNN like got me, and I was like, what the fuck? I had to read it because I knew. Yeah. I had a feeling going in it was going to be polarized, but I wanted to see exactly what they did. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, it was like very much like we should ban all guns. And you're like, oh, come on, guys. That's not what the study's saying. The study's showing that some gun laws do work, which, yes, that makes sense. Like, limiting guns in the fashion they're talking about, like registering, does work for the most part, But then you got to show the other side of that too. Mm-hmm. So,
well, it's like that argument people bring up all the time that automatic weapons need to be banned. It's like automatic weapons have been banned for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, assault
almost 30 years.
Yeah,
me and my mom actually got into that argument really like a couple weeks ago. We got into that argument, and she was saying that fully automatic weapons need to be banned, and also, or fully automatic assault weapons. I'm like, fully automatic assault weapons have been banned for sale to the public since 1986.
You should have said that there is no such thing as assault weapon.
Okay, fully automatic firearm, whatever that. I knew what you meant.
Done.
I'm like, they've been banned since 1986 and was signed into law by Ronald Reagan. She's like, yeah, the savior of the Republican Party. I'm like, yeah, economically speaking, and I agree with everything that he said about having to ban fully automatic weapons. No citizen should have a fully automatic weapon.
Right.
I totally agree with that. 100%. No reason I should have a fully automatic rifle in my house. Totally agree with that. And then she's like, but the guy, she brought up Sandy Hook, how the guy used an automatic weapon. I'm like, no, he used pistols through that entire thing, which are semi-automatic weapons. She's like, well, those should be banned too. I'm like, all pistols are semi-automatic. Well, 99% of pistols are semi-automatic.
Commercial pistols that we can buy. Military pistols are automatic.
Yeah, well, you can, there's versions of them that are automatic. Most are semi.
Right.
And then we got into the thing. She's like, well, they found that assault weapon there. I'm like, no, they found an AR-15 in his trunk that was legally licensed to his mom, whom he killed before going to Sandy Hook.
Right. Which
the gun was not in a case under lock and key, and the kid had a mental disorder.
Right. Dude, so that's a problem. Is like people look at it like
it's a total misunderstanding of what guns are, what type of guns there are, and what is actually banned.
Right, and it's just because people see that, 25 kids died and all, and that's horrifying.
No, it's absolutely
it's
terrifying.
Not the worst in. Everyone's saying, "Oh, that's the worst in American history." It is not. In 18. Oh, fuck, what is it?
Yeah, there is
a fucking musket.
Yeah, he had to reload.
No.
They're just sitting there. There is a worse one. There is.
Yeah, I forgot what year it was, but it was a bunch of little kids and stuff because they turned them in at a school, and after they turned it in, they killed the people.
Yeah, it was a really bad massacre. But
when the fuck was that?
The difference. Look it up. The difference is that like nowadays in the modern times, we have information going everywhere really quickly, and we have a media system that really trumps things up, and like really scarily they can make or break a story. You know what I mean? Like look at how much the NIU shooting happened here, but it was barely covered.
I totally forgot about that
because the
Virginia Tech.
I would say VA shooting. The Virginia Tech shooting happened.
Veterans Association.
Exactly. The Virginia Tech shooting happened and nationwide coverage. A few months later, NIU happened. Still people killed. Not covered as much, which is weird because you're like, why this? Why that? Like what? It was very weird how they didn't cover it because it was still a big shooting.
Yeah.
And I guess the argument was not as many people died in the NIU shooting, but
one is too many.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like so they're not going to cover it because 5 less people died or how many ever less died. That to me is a little scary. I don't like that at all. But we shouldn't ban guns. We've talked about guns a lot on this fucking show.
Oh, this is awesome.
What is?
I gotta send you this. I'm sending it to you right now.
I can't fucking find it. I know I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, there's a record of shootings that go back to like the 1800s. Actually,
yeah, it's like
I think one of the very first school shootings was in the 1700s before this country was even the United States.
Yeah,
it was a school shooting.
It was
really.
Oh, crap, yes. What was it? I think it was like 1809
and
or
I think
something
like 3
like
people.
That.
No, you know what it was? I think it was. There was like a boy.
Benjamin Franklin just couldn't take it anymore. Walked
into
a school and unloaded his muskets.
Oh, I do like this, Brett. I have to zoom out and crop this a bit.
I especially like that it's a lion.
Yeah, that's badass, dude.
Fucking Lion Day.
Fucking Lion Day. The great Christopher Titus says that a lot. I like it. Let's see how this will look. That is pretty. So it says, for those of you listening, it has Democrat with a box, Republican with a box, and then the third box says awake, and that box is ticked. And then the lion is the image where they have the elephant and the donkey for the Democrats and Republicans, respectively. Yeah, that's awesome. Awake.
Yeah, I just happened to see that just now in my
very nice
timeline.
Yeah, it's the thing I was talking about with my other friends. I feel like so many people are waking up. I hear a lot at work from patients and stuff like that where they're like bitching about this and that, and it's like, well, good. Like people need to start awakening and being like, okay, now yes, pay attention, question everything, question authority always. Like we need to be able to be like, hey, I don't really like the fact that you want drones flying around, weaponized drones. I don't really like that. Like that's, we need to be able to do that. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot of stuff. And before we know it, there'll be a more totalitarian state, which we don't want, which no one really wants, I don't think. No. The general public, at least. No one wants it to be, curfews and people in the streets. And it may not come to that, but you don't want...
Getting closer.
Right. You don't want to open up the doors for something partially like that.
No, not at all.
I don't even agree with curfews in general in towns for kids and stuff like that.
I can see it for kids.
I can see it like definitely during like the school year and especially summertime.
I think it should be up to the parents. I think it should be the parents that teach the kid responsibility.
True.
It should be, but I mean, look at all those parents out there now that aren't.
But that's part of the problem is that we need to educate the parents, and then we shouldn't have to have the government or a city telling your kid when you can and cannot be out. It should be the parent being like, okay, we're going to set some ground rules, And if that parent doesn't want to do that, then they shouldn't be a parent or, deal with the consequences of that kid being out. Like, that's how I don't really like how the government can interfere with stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that point.
I mean, I understand why curfews exist, and I do understand. I don't like it. It does help a lot. I will give them that. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool if they could just have parents raise their kids correctly. Which actually brings me to a really cool story. I actually had a patient that wanted to take their kid off of antidepressants because they were reading a lot about them and they didn't feel comfortable with it. And they called their doctor, and the doctor was at first like, no. And then they were like bringing in studies and stuff, and they fought the doctor on it. And the doctor's like, okay, fine, we'll titrate him down and take him off. And I told her, I'm like, good for you that you're under 18 child who's been on antidepressants for a while. Like, you see the puck where the puck is going.
Wait, under 18?
Yeah, they've been on it for like 6 years.
Since they were 12 years old, they've been on antidepressants. What at 12 years old? What the fuck do you have to be depressed about?
Right. Well, there could be a chemical imbalance. Some people.
Yeah, chemical. I'm saying full-on depression.
Yeah.
At 12 years old, unless you shot and killed one of your parents and you're having post-traumatic stress from it.
Right.
And totally disassociated.
What they had said to me was that it was to get him through this time. Like something, I guess, I don't know if something happened, but apparently something did where they needed to be on this. I guess they're having anxiety issues. Might have been the point. But antidepressants can do that. They hit anti-anxiety. So she was like, now she was doing so much study, and she was like, I don't want my child on that anymore. Like, we will go through counseling, and maybe we can see if she can get
work it out like they did 30 years ago,
right?
Before antidepressants.
And I told her, good for you for standing up and being like, you know what? Maybe my child shouldn't be on antidepressants. And she was like, she was shocked that I said that, but I was like, I fully you're a parent, and that's what you're supposed to do is question things like that. You want to make sure that you know what's going in your child. She was like, well, thank you. It was very because it was one of those things like that's a good parent. Most parents would be like, feed the kid candy. I see that a lot. Like, give him Adderall, give him high doses of Adderall, drug him. The drugs are babysitters, and you're like, that is going to have long-term consequences.
Yeah,
look at all the issues with antidepressants that we've talked about before. 90% of all the school shootings, the kids have been on antidepressants.
Yeah,
which I know that correlation is not causation, but that's something that you're like, wow, that's something that needs to be looked at. Because that's very scary. There's a lot of people in this country on antidepressants. I fill a lot of their prescriptions, and sometimes you're like, it's terrifying.
Is that most of the prescriptions? Completely off. Well, kind of on topic, but I don't even know if you can answer. Are most of the prescriptions you fill antidepressant or chemical imbalance?
Not
related?
At my store. At other stores I've been to, like the bread and butter are the antidepressants and antipsychotics. Yeah, and it varies by location. But it's scary.
Things like that where. 1 Second After is probably one of the most terrifying books I have ever read in my life. And they kind of go into the whole, people, coming off of being on their antidepressants and stuff, especially people that shouldn't actually be on them, but were. The purpose of, or the whole storyline of 1 Second After is some terrorist somehow detonates nuclear weapons in the atmosphere and causes a mass EMP strike, basically. All power, everything is shut down, and you start to see the process of everybody goes through of reverting back to an agrarian state where there's no power, no nothing, no means of getting all the things and drugs and all the conveniences that we have. And one of the scenes was very startling. Was this guy is at the pharmacy a couple days after this happens, and he's like, I need this, and he's clearly going through just withdrawal symptoms because he was having these pills illegally, didn't have a prescription thing on there, and she's like, I don't have this, I don't have it, and the guy was about ready to jump over the counter and just beat the shit out of this lady to get some fucking pills. And it's just we are completely over-medicated. Seriously, the scariest fucking book I have ever read in my life.
Well, that actually, funny thing you say that. I had a patient ask me, he's from Europe, and he goes, what if something that, on the East Coast, when they had that hurricane, he goes, I heard reports of you had no power. He goes, how do you give medications to people? And at first I was like, holy shit, that's a good, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And it's what do we do? You can't bill for them, you can't get paid for them, you're right. It's terrifying. What are you not supposed to give it? What I told him, and my answer is if something like that happened, and that we kept the pharmacy open, I would have them bring in their old pill bottles, and I would give it to them.
Yeah.
Depending on what it was, even it controls if I knew them and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
because you're basically like, we'll worry about the money later because you're right. You can go psychotic by getting off those medications. I had a patient who did not pick up their prescription. They were lazy, and people do that sometimes. And they waited 3 days, and they called, and they're like, her heart was palpitating. They were sweating. They were
Withdrawal.
having like, weird. Exactly. I was like, you need to come in right now and take this immediately. Like, you cannot miss a couple of days, even just 2 days. They start to feel horrendous side effects from these antidepressants, and it's like
should be your sign that you shouldn't be. That there's probably a better way to go about dealing with depression.
I feel like for the majority of people who they give those drugs to, yes, there are some people who have a chemical imbalance.
Oh yes, that need them.
Yes, very small portion.
Probably won't feel the side of or the massive withdrawal symptoms.
They can have withdrawal symptoms, but
not as drastically though. Is what I'm saying.
But some people do need to be on it. The problem is that they're over medicating them on that. Like that's the scary thing is like people who they're like, I feel sad. They're like, here, have an antidepressant. Instead of like, whoa, what?
I feel sad. Here's some speed. Be happy.
and it's very strange to me that you can jump to that. You know, it's like, why do we have the drug? Why can't we figure it out? Like, what have people done for the last few thousand years?
Yeah.
You know?
What did we do before advanced chemistry?
I mean, not everybody was depressed. You know, as far as we know. I don't think
people actually had to like do work.
Yes, people had to, like find their food. Speaking of finding their food, that brings me to my little diet plan I want to try for 30 days.
Segue.
Boom. We're almost
not the
professionals.
scooter.
No, fuck the scooter. What I want to do for 30 days, I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to start, maybe next week sometime, but I want to do the paleo diet. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. You guys have probably heard of it.
I know. I've been fairly well versed.
20 minutes trying to find this thing, and I can't find it.
Fail. That's why
I was wondering why you've been so silent. I was like, I forgot Andrew was here.
It's empty. There's another one over there. So the paleo diet is a interesting diet that I've heard many times in various podcasts and things like that. And it kind of opened my mind. I started thinking about it. Rob Wolf, I think, is one of the guys who has the paleo book I'm reading now about it.
Rob
so
Wolf.
the paleo diet is basically a return to when we were hunter-gatherers. Our bodies have evolved to hunt, gather, and eat basically 3 ideas of food groups, which is fruits, vegetables, and meats. Meats.
Bacon.
And eats basically just those, It's a very return to basic idea. When you think of like a caveman, what they would eat would be those 3 things, and nuts I would include in protein, such as meat. Like that, I would just throw that lump in there. Nuts and legumes and stuff.
Yeah, you like nuts.
I do like nuts in my mouth. So it's like a very basic return to where you eat. What the cool thing is, you can kind of eat whatever you want in it as long as you're eating that, and you can eat. Basically, it's the onus is to eat when you're hungry. Yeah, and you eat until you're not hungry. So if you're like, I'm really hungry, I want a big steak, have a big steak. It's cool. So it's a really cool return. It cuts out all like wheat, all sugars, cookies, donuts,
basically everything that's processed.
Exactly. Anything processed. And the meat preferably is grass-fed meat. Not a requirement, but preferably because it's a more...
It's actually healthy for you. Corn and all that kind of crap.
You literally get it from
It's not good for the cow. It's probably not good for you.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that. And you have to stay away from you stay away from starchy vegetables and stuff like that. So you don't eat potatoes. Potatoes are no.
Yeah. No.
You can eat sweet potatoes. You can eat sweet potatoes are very healthy for you. Low carbs, low glycemic index and stuff like that. I was reading some recipes on that. So that's what I want to try. And it's 30 days. And I was asked by somebody if I really wanted to continue it afterwards. And I was like, I want to see how I feel. Like, I want to see if I can even do it for 30 days. How I feel. I can still drink coffee, which I was like, yes. I drink my coffee black because you no sugar or cream. So
you like them like you like your women, black and strong?
Black and cold because I put ice in it.
Do you really?
Yeah. I don't drink hot coffee. I don't have patience for hot coffee. So I'm going to try that.
You can have patience for hot coffee. You just take it from the pot and dump it in a cup and drink it.
Yeah, but I don't have. I like iced coffee better. I've gotten used to it now. So you can actually drink diet soda. So like Coke Zero will be okay to have infrequently. So I can still have that.
Wait, so the I can't remember the name of the chemical. The stuff,
aspartame.
Yeah, there you go, aspartame. That's okay, but
it's
sugar isn't.
It's not. The couple of things I was reading. They would prefer you not to. Ideally, if you're doing true Paleolithic, you would not have any of that stuff. But a couple of people were like, yeah, you can have soda once in a while. Just don't have it every fucking day or 3-4 times a day.
I used to drink like 6 cans of regular Coke a day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy bad for you.
I remember the first time I tried stop doing that. That shit's like crack.
You have withdrawal from the sugar.
I was just like, holy shit. Now I can't tell you the last time I had a can of regular Coke.
Not just the caffeine withdrawal.
No, it's
the sugar.
The high
withdrawal.
fructose corn syrup. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's just crazy how bad sugar, and it's in everything. Like, even I have my Nutrisystem food, and I'm looking through the labels and stuff. She's over here.
Okay. I was just like, I just realized the dog was.
Yeah, she's by me. She's by her boyfriend. That's creepy. So even my Nutrisystem food, like a lot of the bars I really like, they have sugars in them, and it's like the second ingredient is fructose corn syrup, and you're like, fuck.
Damn those trans fats.
Right. And it's like, and Nutrisystem is really healthy, but it's not the ideal healthy that I want now, you know? So I'm going to try that for 30 days. I'll let you guys know how that goes and maybe talk about it. I kind of do. I kind of want to blog my journey. Do it every other day. Maybe we could. Yeah, that's a good idea. You're genius.
Yeah, I'm brilliant when it comes to filling page views.
You are. So I do want to talk about it because I want to talk about like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it because it's a lot of.
And you can talk about your feelings.
Yeah,
your womanly
I
feelings.
Cry. And you'd be like, I miss hot dogs.
Speaking of, I need to get on Kevin's ass about that.
He's very busy.
Yeah.
Said he's told me he's so fucking busy.
Yeah,
and I told him what happened. It shit happens too. My brother, you get so fucking busy with
I
school.
need to respond to him still. I haven't done that.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone before.
Oh,
We're cool. He felt really bad, but I was like, dude, you got shit to do. I was just in school. Like, I know what that's like. It sucks. We'll
miss
live.
that.
Yeah. So I'm going to try the paleo diet. It's going to be a very big challenge because
Dave's going to blog his 30-day journal.
I will.
Journey. I'm drunk.
You are drunk.
Empty stomach, lots of beer.
I will want to talk about that because it's challenging and I'm kind of nervous at points about it because my biggest part is I don't want to fail. Like, I don't want to be like, I must have bread or something stupid like that, And so I've been slowly the past couple days weaning myself off of a lot of stuff and just eating a more basic diet at work and stuff like that because I'm in a grocery store. I can buy whatever the fuck I want, So I've been like slowly weaning myself off of a lot of the sugary stuff.
That's the hardest part, honestly, is getting yourself off all of those super processed, like refined.
Right.
Shit.
So I've been having like a lot of protein, like a lot of eggs and a lot of meats.
I eat
and
so much eggs. It's not even funny.
Eggs are really good for you. And I don't fuck the bad cholesterol bullshit.
That is like my favorite Lewis Black skit, by the way.
Yeah.
Is this whole thing. Eggs are good. Eggs are bad. So they tell me they're good. So I eat twice as many eggs to make up for the time that I didn't eat them. Then they tell me the whites are good. The yellows are bad. Make up your fucking mind already.
Yeah. He's right. And it's like, in moderation, you have to. You can't.
Everything is moderation.
If you have 12 dozen eggs a day, you're gonna be sick.
So I had 6 eggs in one day, and I could not get out of the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah. I made a big. I was like, I'm fucking hungry. It was. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm fucking hungry. It was like a Saturday morning. Like, all my shit's done. I'm like, I'm fucking hungry. These eggs were gonna go bad, and they're like the use by date was like 2 days away. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat them before then. I'm like, fucking 6 eggs over easy.
Boom.
Some Robin buys the Morningstar like sausage, like hot and spicy sausage things. It's like, yeah, there's some of that in there. Bagel, cream cheese, fucking chow. And I was just like, oh,
why?
Why
I
did
wouldn't blame
do that?
the eggs as much. I would probably blame the sausage.
No, it was the eggs.
Was it the eggs are so good, man.
Yeah.
I love rocking eggs.
I need beer.
Speaking
of moderation,
water.
Exactly. So I would definitely recommend people checking out the paleo diet and seeing what it's like. It's a challenge. I don't think I would continue it after the 30 days. I think I would incorporate aspects to it and be like, I would like to have pizza once in a while. YOLO. You only live once. Good. So yeah, you gotta have. I'm gonna have that a little bit because I'm fucking human. I don't think I could be one of those mega crazy people that like Rob Wolf, who's completely 100% paleo all the time. That's very challenging in this world. You want to live a little bit, eat food here and there, but I won't go back to what I was eating and eat, a big ass pizza or a couple of bowls from fucking noodles and.
Ah, here it is! I found it. Yes.
You finally found it. It was like 30 minutes. What? Okay, lay it on us.
It was in 1890. The U.S. government shot and killed over 290 unarmed Indians at school, including over 200 women and children.
Jesus, what year was this? I'm sorry.
1890.
God, that's long. That's not that long ago if you think about it. It's maybe 120 some odd years.
And they gave up their guns too.
And they still shot them all?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Brett.
What'd you find?
I found it.
Fucking U.S. government.
What were you looking for?
In 1890,
Oh, there you go.
the U.S. government shot and killed over 290 unarmed Indians at school, including over 200 women.
God, fucking talk about corruption back in the day.
And children.
Why didn't anybody tweet about that back in the day?
They're not U.S. citizens, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
They were here
you
before
go.
us.
They were the OG citizens here, son. That's what they were.
But they gave up their guns first.
Their bows and arrows, you mean?
No, they had guns
They had
then.
guns that they stole from
From
the
the
white man.
French.
Oh, is it French? Wow, that's crazy. That's a downer right there. A Debbie Downer right there.
Wah, wah.
Pretty much. Wow. So, are we ready for the what the fuck moment?
Already? It's
I
only
don't
been
know.
an hour.
It has. How do you know it's only been an hour?
59 minutes or 1 hour and 2 seconds. Live stream for the win.
It logs the time on there?
Yeah. It says
Cool.
how long we've been running.
Because I was like, I can see the time too on here.
I'm magic. I could see your screen from here.
Wow, twisted all the way and shit. Well, what else do you want? Do you have any like big topics?
We talked about the essay. Oh, Comet Pan-Stars.
What'd you call me?
Pansy.
Pan-Stars. Pansy ass.
Motherfucker.
No, Comet Pan-Stars is the first of 2 comets this year that'll be visible in the northern
It's
hemisphere.
pretty large. Yeah, it's a very large hemisphere.
Will actually be visible starting tomorrow in the northern hemisphere.
In the sky?
Actually, no, today technically, but
Is it
it's
going to be
fucking
visible in the
cloudy.
sky?
No, in the ground.
Oh shit, we're all dead.
It's going to be in your pants.
Oh,
It's Comet Pan-Stars. It'll be visible in the northern hemisphere on the west, to the west, shortly after sunset. You'll see it right along the horizon. Cruising by, it should make a pretty decent show. Nothing compared to Comet Ison that's going to come around like July, August.
Yes.
Which will light up the sky. It'll be the second brightest object after the moon.
really?
It's supposed to have an amazing tail on it and everything. It's
That's
supposed
what
to be,
they're saying.
yeah, for Ison.
So we can see these without a telescope.
without a telescope. To the naked eye, it'll be visible in the northern hemisphere starting tomorrow.
Is it going to be like the 17,000 miles or whatever? Is it going to
No, God, no. It's
Almost 9,000.
it's
over 9,000?
that's impossible. No, I think Pan-Stars, the closest it'll get is like 1 million or 2 million miles. Ison will get a little bit closer, but Ison is making its first pass into the inner solar system from the Oort cloud. So the tail on this thing, they're expecting it to just be enormous, like literally light up the night sky.
Wow, that's
That'd be
crazy.
awesome.
That's very cool.
I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, you're an astronaut. Like,
Astronut.
it's very cool.
He's
I
going to put
definitely
some
wanna see that.
astronauts in your butt.
Yeah, ew, yikes, too soon.
No, not too soon. I never come too soon.
Oh,
That's right. I
Only
went
too
there.
late.
I sometimes do. I'm working on it. That's crazy. That's cool. I didn't know that it was coming.
Yeah.
We talked about it before.
Yeah, a while ago we talked about it very
I don't
briefly,
remember.
but Pan-Stars is the first one, and then Comet Ison is the next one.
Cool. We'll have to talk when it more, like the days it comes up.
After we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be clear tomorrow. I was so pissed because today was actually the first day you should be able to see it from the northern hemisphere.
Oh, really?
But because it's fucking cloudy as shit here, every fucking time there's like a cosmological event, it is fucking cloudy wherever I am.
Especially when that one passed by so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you like go up to Wisconsin or something?
Yeah.
Maybe Canada.
Well, thankfully, comets are a little bit more long term, so it's not just one day, like 1 day or two, like a meteor shower. Ison will be visible from, I think they said
It's like a couple
late
months.
Yeah, it's like late July through the end of November.
Oh my god.
It's a long time it'll be in the sky. And then Pan-Stars is only a couple weeks, just the way our trajectories are aligned at the time.
Aren't you glad that one comet or asteroid or whatever the fuck it's called didn't hit us? That came within the satellite belt.
Oh, yeah. It really wasn't that big, though, in
It
terms of...
still would have fucked a lot of things.
It
up.
was like twice the size, I think they said, of the one that hit Russia. Most of it would have broken up in the atmosphere.
yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it wasn't overly large. It was big in terms of being able to detect it, but in terms of cosmological scales, it was pretty tiny.
Yeah, listen to Neil Tyson about that shit, son.
Oh yeah, he talks that.
Did you guys? But did you guys hear about the comet that is projected to possibly hit Mars in 2014?
Oh, Mars.
I think I
Yeah.
heard a little bit about it.
Yeah, they need
Who's
to name.
tracking
They did.
that?
They actually just discovered it like a month ago or something like that. And based on preliminary calculations, it could either barely miss Mars or directly hit Mars.
What about the rover?
Yeah, well, they're saying they should
Red Rover.
They should name the comet Cat, so Cat kills Curiosity.
Oh, that's good.
I saw that joke
NASA
today.
Funny.
Yeah, so funny.
I know what we didn't talk about earlier. Mark Stahl from New York Rangers. He took a nasty shot to the face.
Yes.
Oh, I
He
must have missed
he
this.
took a puck to
Look it up.
like
What?
just missed
Which
his
Stahl
eye.
brother was it?
Mark. He's with the Rangers.
I have never seen a player like
He goes down and he's convulsing in
He's
pain.
like it looked like I thought it hit him square in the eye, and like everybody in the stadium was like, "Oh shit!" Like it hit him square in the face.
Takes puck to the face on SB Nation.
Very crazy video. I felt
yes,
very bad
it
for him.
will,
there's a video
Immediately,
for it?
he went to block the shot, or he was in the way of the shot. The other team shot. I can't remember who took the shot, but
Oh shit!
yeah,
They made it into an animated GIF on
Did they
SB
really?
Nation. Off the flyer. Who is that on the Flyers stick?
what's the number?
I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know.
44 made the shot, and it looks like 3 or 13. Oh shit!
Yeah, right in his face.
Oh god damn!
Yeah,
and you see him
dude,
like flopping
yeah,
about, like
SB
he's
Nation.
in pain.
Luckily, it missed like the orbital bone and like his eye. It hit.
It is cheek, so
It
it
is
fucked
cheekbone,
up his cheek.
yeah.
He's out for a while, but
Yeah, it says indefinitely on ESPN.
yeah, he's out. He's gonna be out.
It actually looks like it hits more of his helmet and then ricochets into his eye.
No, it hits
No,
his cheek.
It hits square in the cheek.
Ooh, fuck yeah, it does.
This instantly sparked talk about visors, like mandatory
Oh, yeah.
visors.
I don't see why they don't.
Which
honestly,
over the last couple of years, it's actually gone up. What was it?
oh, speaking of Kevin, he just posted a post.
Wah, wah.
Non-consensual Rochambeau.
Nice. I love Kevin, dude. We need to have him on
comes
here
up with
more.
some great shit.
He does. He's a clever dude.
Kevin,
Yeah.
if you're listening, you're welcome on Tuesday's show.
We love you. So the hit, this brought up a lot of things about visors, but I do not like the mandatorization of visors.
Mhm.
Oh, here you go. It hits like his eyebrow first,
Yeah.
and then his cheek, and then it hits his shoulder.
I don't like. Excuse me. I'm boring myself. I don't like the like making it mandatory for visors. I feel like if I was a player, I would have a visor on.
Oh, I totally would.
Um,
Isn't there like extra penalty minutes too if you fight with a visor on or
Yes,
something?
if
I
you
thought I
start the
heard that.
fight, you get an extra 2 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I caught that the other day.
What if you got a big cage on? Like, if you can you start a fight then?
No, because that's college.
No. If you like your jaw's broken and they put that cage thing on that protects your jaw and you get a fight, like you'd be fucking invincible.
Why would you fight?
Because you got a fucking cage on. They can't.
But
punch
yeah, you got a fucking broken jaw. Oh, I'll just get punched in the face. Someone's gonna rip that shit
You
off.
got a cage on. Oh,
Dude.
they can rip it off.
Yeah.
It's not permanent.
Haven't you watched the fights? They rip off
They
helmets all
try
the time.
to. Sometimes
Dude.
they don't.
John Scott will rip off your fucking helmet.
John Scott. I'm not gonna fight John Scott. Oh my god, man.
Okay, fine. Dan Carcel will rip off your fucking helmet.
He probably would. He's a psycho. I didn't realize that if you had a visor on, you fight.
Ovechkin would just slew foot you, and you go
Yeah, he
crashing
would.
into the boards
He's a
and
big
tear your
boy.
ACL.
Well, Sidney Crosby, who's like Mr. Concussion, had said that he doesn't feel that players should have mandatory visors, but he feels like if you want to have one, you should, because he doesn't have one.
Well, it's gone up the last couple of years.
Yeah, there's been a
I
lot
mean,
of
now
issues.
it's
It was
72%, roughly 72% of the players this year have visors.
One of the players a couple years ago got hit and he actually lost his eye. I can't remember what team he's on now, but he got hit.
No, I don't think he lost his eye. I think he lost the vision in it.
Oh, he lost the vision, but something happened where he's probably not gonna be playing anymore
Yeah.
because the puck hit him like square and
Well,
and it was
Look at
orbitals.
Chris Pronger. He took a puck to the face.
He
No.
did.
Was it the puck or was it the stick?
I thought it was a puck.
I can't remember what it was, but he hasn't played since 2011 season. He missed all last year because of post-concussion syndromes.
Yeah,
and
he's had.
He was saying that every once in a while he'll just get really dizzy and colors will go all cray-cray. Sorry, I said cray-cray.
Yeah.
You did, didn't you?
You did say cray cray.
And so like he wants to come back and play, but he doesn't know if he'll be able to.
That's very sad. I mean, Chris Pronger, I'm not a big fan of him, but I don't want to see any player hurt. Except maybe one, and that would be BXA. on Vancouver.
Why?
The Sedin sisters would be another.
They're just pussies. But the Bieksa on Vancouver is a cocksucker. And you know, watching a game the other night, and
he's a fucking pussy.
He was on the bench.
The whole Vancouver team is a bunch of fucking.
A lot of them are, yeah. Okay, Bieksa was on the bench
I actually feel sorry for Ryan Kessler.
because he broke his foot.
Well, not only that, but he's like the only guy on the team that I actually like.
Right.
You got to feel sorry for him.
So Bieksa was on the bench, and this other player was standing there just talking to one of the other players. I don't know what they were talking about. They didn't seem to be anything negative. Bieksa takes his stick and whaps the guy on the head with his stick. And the guy gets really pissed. And Bieksa's like, what did I do? What did I do? And the guy was trying to fight and stuff. And the refs had to pull him away because the refs didn't see him hit him with the stick.
Mm-hmm.
And the NBC guys were like, they like replayed it. They're like, this is uncalled for. Like, how unprofessional. And like, he hit him hard. He wasn't like he just tapped him.
Like,
he
jabbed
was like,
him in the
just
face.
Boom.
Right?
And the guy was like, what the fuck?
It's like fucking Rafi Torres. Another piece of shit that came from Vancouver.
Yeah. It's just like it's very sad. Like, Vancouver's like the Oakland Raiders, you know, like they're just kind of douchebags sometimes like that. There's no need for that in hockey.
I'm all for fighting and stuff on the ice because it just adds entertainment value.
Yes.
But unprovoked or anything like that, I mean, it's just if you just feel like wailing on somebody for some reason, hockey's not the sport for you.
Or like what Sidney Crosby said.
Get your roid rage under control.
Right. Like Sidney Crosby said about was it about the Flyers?
Yes. Flyers.
He said, I hate every single person on that team. I hate every single... Like, he went on a rant about how he hates every Flyers player.
But then again, that is also a heated rivalry.
It is a rivalry, but it's weird to it's just a douchey thing to be like, I hate everybody on that team.
Speaking of rivalries, too, the NHL Players Union...
they approved it, yeah.
They passed on the...
Which, I brought this up to Dave. Picture this. Chicago, Detroit, Stanley Cup Final.
That would be pretty fucking awesome.
That would be insane. Imagine the ticket prices.
I don't even want to think about it.
Imagine
go to that game,
imagine the roar of Detroit sucks.
Man, that would be epic.
Especially
cool.
Since it's at the Stanley Cup Final, and everyone will be into it.
So very cool that I mean, it sucks that Detroit is leaving our division.
But we get Winnipeg.
But if you look at it from Detroit's side, it makes sense because they're more on the East Coast. And they actually wanted to be moved to different division.
One thing that I can't remember who brought it up, but someone brought up, I can't remember the commentator. It was either commentator or one of the sports analysts for NHL Network brought it up to that where right now Detroit will play on the West Coast more often than on the East Coast because of the conference. And a young kid wants to stay up to watch the Wings play Anaheim or Vancouver or LA. The game doesn't start until 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern time.
True.
So,
I can't stop it.
Why is that playing?
I don't know.
But
I'm confused.
yeah, so the kid can't stay up to watch the game. So the kid's just kind of fucked out of a game, especially if it's a school night. Especially like if the kid's in grade school or something and stuff like that.
Dude, I remember when I was little trying to stay up to watch the games and stuff like that, and I just couldn't, especially when they were on like the West Coast. It was just like impossible. Even like when I was like really into watching baseball all the time, which I still do usually through the All-Star break and stuff, but like when they're playing like those late games where they don't start till like 9:30 and stuff, and I'm like unconscious at like 10:30, and those games go to almost midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does suck.
Especially baseball because it's so slow. You're saying like, oh shit, it's still in the first inning.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, it's been a half hour.
That's my main gripe about baseball is that there is no time limit.
Yeah.
I have ever since I really got into watching football, I'm very appreciative of
American
the time limit.
or European?
Either.
What's the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
It depends on how he grips it.
Wrong quote, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Fail.
What is your favorite color?
Blue. No, green.
Ah!
On that note, I think we should get to the what the fuck moment.
Okay, what do you
Wrap
got?
this bitch up.
See if you can make me go what the fuck.
Can
hold
you
on.
put the beer in your pants first?
Oh.
And pretend it's a PBR?
Why would I want to pretend to drink PBR?
No, I just said put it in your pants and pretend it's a PBR.
No.
Damn it. Well, anyways.
Wait, is this about the girl who had the vagina? The vagina.
The girl who had the vagina. A story by Brett.
The girl who had the pistol in her vagina and the
No.
cocaine or the meth up her ass.
Notice I said PBR and pants.
Yes.
There was no vagina involved.
So
And there was
usually,
no
if you're drinking PBR, you're never going to see a vagina anyway.
True. But in Massachusetts?
Somerville, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah. A guy got arrested for stealing 2 cans of PBR. He stuck them in his pants.
Isn't PBR like 50 cents a can?
Something like that. But anyway, when this guy was confronted, old lady... Where the fuck did I see that?
You got it?
Yeah, find it. I lost
So
the
he
spot.
he stole the cans, and a woman saw that the cans were in his. He stole them, so she followed him and asked him, like, what the hell? What's that?
On the street.
Yeah, she's like, what?
She points to his ankle and said, "What's that around your ankle? Like down by your ankle?" He goes, "That's my penis."
Then
what?
He's like, well, he said that's
Was he
my
black?
And actually, I don't know. Probably. Let's
What's
say
his
he is
name?
for fun.
They just say a Medford man.
Yeah.
Darn.
So he's like, this is my penis, and he takes one of the cans and whips it at her.
Yeah.
So he threw his penis in her face?
Basically. So then he runs away, and the police, like, she calls the police, and they catch up with him, and they arrest him, and he starts, like, yelling at the police officers, telling them to fuck off, and he didn't do anything wrong. And then he, when they were
they arrested him in Medford, not Somerville.
Oh, okay.
And what the guy said to the cops was, his actions at the liquor store were none of their business, and they should fuck off. He said that to the cops.
That's awesome.
My favorite part of the story is that they charged him with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon for throwing the can of beer at her.
Well, they can't
Goddamn
explode.
assault weapons.
PBR is a big can. Like,
Yeah.
it's very funny. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
It looks like they were tall boys.
They probably were.
Okay, yeah, those
So-
would do some damage.
It's a what the fuck moment that hit beer cans, and he's like, that's my dick. And you're like, really? And he only stole 2.
Kind of weak for a what the fuck, but I'll take it.
Hey,
He only took 2 out of a 6-pack.
you were late. You were 3 hours late.
Blame the fucking idiot who tried to race a train.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the what the fuck moment is
Mhm.
is trying to race a train. Ladies and gentlemen, do not race a train. It's very stupid.
Unless you're in a very fast car, then it's a brilliant idea.
Even then, don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it. It's
Do
very
it. I
dumb.
condone this.
No, you do not. Unless you have a small penis, then it's fine.
How about this one?
That's a great Family Guy episode, by the way.
How about this
he gets
one?
the penis-shaped
A guy
car.
got caught with his penis out in public, and his excuse was his pants shrunk.
Yikes.
You got? Yeah, I'll take that one. Was he black?
No, what happened? I don't know.
That's my
What happened
response to all what the fuck moment.
What happened was he was caught
Queries.
masturbating behind a convenience store and told the officer that his penis was only out because his pants had shrunk.
Why would you masturbate in public anyway?
What's
Well,
wrong with that?
Like on the street corner?
When you
Yeah,
OD
that's a
on
little weird.
Viagra.
Unless
get
you're homeless, there's no excuse for that. And then it's just considered you're crazy.
It's just rude.
Here you go. It was in Pennsylvania. The officer stumbled upon. He could be black. His name's Scotty Smith. Scott
black.
E. Smith. Said scrubbing the nub behind a Unimart on the evening of January 29th.
It does actually say scrubbing a nub.
Scrubbing the nub.
That's awesome. Is this a British newspaper?
No, this was in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Here in the States.
Fuck me.
Maybe later.
He admitted to masturbating outside the store, saying he did it because he was depressed. Later on, he said it was because he's depressed. And originally, it was because his pants shrunk.
That is amazing. That's a what the fuck moment too.
Yeah, that one takes
He got
precedent for me.
charged with 3 counts of indecent exposure and is scheduled for preliminary.
One for the dick and one for each ball.
Apparently.
How many strokes did you do? 3. Okay, you get 3 charges.
Oh man.
That's awful.
So that's pretty much the end of
Oh,
the
wait.
show, right?
And
No,
probably-
we got more?
Yeah, another one was probably. Allegedly, he confessed to flashing a woman and her young daughter in mid-December. So by confessing that, that's probably where the 3 come in. So you got the 2 people in there scrubbing the nub.
Scrubbing the nub. That's awesome.
That's terrible.
Na. Oh, oh.
It's in the background there. Let's have that go while we go out. That's a great song. I like this.
You gotta send me the file.
Catchy as
There's a
shit.
link
I like it
for
a
it.
lot. Definitely visit us at geekify.tv. Click on the On It banner. Buy some
Get on
awesome On It stuff. I'm definitely been buying it because it's kick-ass stuff like the Steel Bell and testosterone, T plus stuff. Good shit.
New mood.
Visit us on
Shroom tech.
Facebook and Twitter. Do all that fun shit.
Hemp
you know
protein.
how to find us. Ooh, hemp protein is delicious.
Yes.
Delicious as
I'm gonna
fuck.
start. I'm starting lifting again in this weekend. So
You should. You should man up a little bit.
soon.
It'd be nice.
We'll play catch.
I'm gonna get my muscles back.
You should.
We'll play catch once we get off air.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it on air because we'd all be out of breath. We do threesome.
Maybe you guys would.
Oh, you will, son. You will. You can't even
You'll
lift
be
it.
done in
You
like
couldn't even
5
lift it
I get
before.
winded up an escalator, so I'm
It's
just busting
true.
your chops.
It's true.
Going up or going down?
Both.
Exactly.
Well, going down, you could just slide on the rail.
No, they're hard rubber. They don't slide. I tried.
They
You're
don't
not
use
using the
them.
right material then, son.
Jeans,
Not the right material.
bare ass with lube.
All right, bitches, let's get out of
There you
here.
Peace.
Everybody have a good one.
Until
I'm,
next time,
I'm Dave Mankoff.
I'm Brett Kaminsky.
go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
I'm
that's-
a rock.
Brett likes the cock.
Dave likes it in the ass.
Nah. Oh, hey, oh. Scrub the nub.
Good shit.